Have you ever had one of those life-changing experiences? You know, the kind that just alters the way you view things? Well, I definitely have. 7 years ago, I had open heart surgery, and it saved my life. Now, I learned a lot of things through this process, but one thing in particular that I learned was that I should view pigs a little bit differently. I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, right? I have open heart surgery, saves my life, and I'm thinking about pigs. Well, I'm a little weird like that, but I have an excuse. I'm a youth ranch director, and I'm a pig farmer. So really, I think about pigs all the time. But until this experience, I had thought about pigs as basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But my perspective was changed, and so today, I'd like to change your perspective about how you view pigs. Now, to help me do that, I brought along my good friend, Miss Charlotte. Isn't she a beautiful pig? Now, Charlotte is amazing in so many ways. But one of the things that makes her very incredible is that in the course of her lifetime, she can have as many as 185 offspring. Now, that blows my mind. But what makes that so amazing is that she and all of her offspring are actually educators. They can teach our children the many great and issues that we have in our country. So through time with my surgery and time with these pigs, I've learned that pigs are not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they are also lifesavers, game changers, and hero makers. Now I know what you're thinking. You're going, Max, how can a pig be a lifesaver? Well, did you know for over 50 years, doctors have been using heart valves from pigs to save the lives of people just like me? And that's not it. Right now in America, there are over 80,000 Americans on the heart and lung transplant list. 60,000 of them are going to die while waiting for their donors. Can you imagine a 10-year-old girl who's suffering from cystic fibrosis? She's gasping for her every breath, and she's waiting and actually depending upon another child dying so that she can get a new set of lungs. Mayo Clinic research tells us that soon, very soon, pigs like Charlotte and her offspring will become the primary donor candidates for hearts, lungs, and even organs like kidneys, livers, and corneas. Gone will be the day when that child and those 80,000 people have to wait and depend upon another person dying so that they can live. Folks, pigs are lifesavers, but they are also game changers. Every year in America, we throw away 35 million tons of food. That's enough food to fill our professional football stadium every day of the year. Now, when this food enters our landfills and begins to rot, it produces the harmful greenhouse gas we know as methane. And this methane production makes our landfills one of our leading producers of greenhouse gas emissions in our country. But Charlotte and her offspring can consume over 500 tons of this wasted food. And by doing so, they can reduce greenhouse gas emissions equivalent to that of us removing 2,000 vehicles from our streets. Now, while we are busy filling our football stadiums with food waste, Feeding America tells us that 50 million Americans will go to bed hungry tonight. 16 million of them are children. Now, when Charlotte and her offspring consume that food, they will produce over 30,000 pounds of healthy, sustainably grown, protein-rich pork with which we can feed our starving citizens. Feeding America also tells us that New Mexico is ranked #1 in childhood hunger in the entire country. That 30,000 pounds of pork is equivalent to 120,000 breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that we can use to fight childhood hunger in our state. Folks, pigs are game changers, but they are also hero makers. See, I define a hero as someone who makes a difference, who doesn't just take up space, but they work hard every day to make our world a better place. Now, Charlotte, pigs like her and her offspring can teach our children the tools that they need to become our country's next heroes. Through interaction with these pigs, our children can learn hard work, dedication, responsibility, respect, perseverance, how to work with others, and how to think of something else before themselves. But very importantly, these children will learn that the food that they eat doesn't come from a box or a bag or even the grocery store. But our food is produced and grown by hardworking, dedicated heroes in our world. So folks, your challenge is to find a place where your children can interact with pigs like Charlotte and her offspring, so that one day they might grow up and become lifesavers. Or maybe one day your children will grow up and become game changers. Or maybe, just maybe, they might grow up and become a pig farmer just like me.